web version behaves just a little bit slower. Turns out I need to double click here, and you can see the random numbers that are being generated and the correct answer that's being stored, so that's great. All right, now we need our host to ask us to type in the correct answer for the question. So at this point we go to sensing, because it's going to sense what you type on the keyboard, and we're going to ask what's your name and weight, but we don't want to ask what your name is. We actually want to ask the math problem. So if we go back here to the operators, we need to put the first random number times the second random number here, so we have to do this join hello world. And because we need 3 characters, we actually need to drag it inside of one of the others. So we have this join hello world. So don't worry too much about that. Go back to the data, grab your number 1, type a times sign here, an X, whatever you want to do, and then here you'll drag the number 2 into the spot. So I can test this, and you can see the host, this is 9 times 8. So we're good. Now we need to check to see if, in fact, we've typed the correct answer. So we'll go back to our control, and we'll get an if-then-else block. And we're going to see if the correct answer equals the answers that we typed. So we go to the operators, and we come and grab the equal sign, and we say if the answer in the sensing, the one that we typed into the keyboard, equals the answer that's stored in that correct variable. Okay, and if so, what is it going to do? Well, we need to tell our good guy to go. So if we go to events, we can broadcast a message. And instead of message 1, I'm going to make a new message that just says go. So if our answer that we've typed equals the correct answer, we're going to tell our good guy to go. We're going to broadcast that, and we'll come back to that in a second. Plus, I want to have a nice message that says correct. And maybe I only want to play that for 1 second. Okay. If we're wrong, I want to have another message saying wrong. Okay. Now, maybe 1 second. We want to continue to play this game until our good or bad guy hits the end of the stage. So we need to have this happen forever. So we go to our control, we wrap a forever around it, and that's good. Now we need a way to trigger this to start it. So we go back to our events, and we'll just have the green flag start this into motion. All right, so that's the host. He's good. We can test it by clicking on the flag and make sure that it works. And maybe I'll type the wrong answer just to check that, and you can see it says wrong. I'll type the correct answer and we got it right. So our host is working fine. Now we want to go to our good guy, in my case the snowman. We want him to start in this position. So the way to do that is just by clicking on the middle of your snowman. Make sure that he's not on the edge of the stage. Click on the middle of your snowman. Correct. Go to motion and drag that go X, Y. It's the 6th block down, and it might be something like -200, 0, something like that. These are the coordinates of the snowman. If you don't know about coordinates yet, just know that there's an invisible grid that runs all over the stage. It's sort of like Battleship. And these would be the coordinates for the center of our good guy. And so when we start the game, we want our good guy to always go to that position. Okay. Now, when he receives the go message, so when the host says go, we want him to do some things. And those things are to move forward. So we'll go to motion, and we'll move forward. Now, 10 steps is a pretty good speed. If you want to make it harder or easier, you can make it 15 steps. Harder, you can make it less steps. Okay. Now we need to check to see if our good guys hit the stage, and that will determine if we've won. So we'll come back here to the control. We'll grab an if then, and what we're going to do is go to our sensing, and we're going to see if our good guy is touching the edge. And if so, we're going to go ahead and go to the looks and say, I win. And we want to go to the control and stop the whole game. Now, we want this to happen forever. We want to see if he's touching the edge forever, so we can then just grab and pull that edge. And say, I win.